who were Lancelot and Guinevere. If you've ever heard the name Lancelot or Guinevere, then you probably know that they were lovers. But if you're not familiar with the legend of King Arthur, then you might be a little confused as to who these two were and why their story matters. It was a love story that defied the ideals of chivalry and shook the foundations of King Arthur's court. Lancelot was one of the bravest and most noble knights of the Round Table. He was a warrior, a leader, and a man of unwavering loyalty. Guinevere, on the other hand, was a symbol of grace, beauty, and power. She was the Queen of Camelot, the wife of King Arthur, and the object of many a suitor's desire. But it was Lancelot who captured her heart and became her one true love. Despite the odds, Lancelot and Guinevere's love story is one that has captured imaginations for nearly 1,000 years. It is a story of passion and betrayal, loyalty and heartbreak, and ultimately the downfall of Camelot. And while the legend has been told and retold countless times, there is always something new to discover. So join us as we take a deep dive into the world of Arthurian legend and explore the forbidden love affair that changed everything. To understand Lancelot and Guinevere, we first need to step into the world of King Arthur and Camelot. Camelot was not just a castle, it was an ideal, a shining vision of justice, honor, and chivalry. At the heart of this dream was the Round Table, where Arthur's knights gathered as equals to defend the weak, seek adventure, and uphold the code of honor. But Camelot wasn't only about battles and quests. It was also the center of courtly love, a medieval tradition that praised devotion, loyalty, and often love that could never be fully realized. It is within this culture that the dangerous romance between Lancelot and Guinevere took root. Lancelot, a knight of the Round Table, was the embodiment of chivalry. He was brave, honorable, and the very definition of a perfect medieval gentleman. Guinevere, on the other hand, was the lady of the castle, beautiful, refined, and desired by many. Theirs was a love story that went beyond the boundaries of duty and honor. It was a love that was destined to be, quote, as pure as the driven snow, yet would ultimately lead to nothing but pain and suffering. Did you know that one of the most celebrated knights of King Arthur's court was actually half fish? His name was Lancelot, sometimes called Lancelot Dulac, and he was raised by the mystical Lady of the Lake. She found him as a baby in a boat on her island, and so began his training to become a warrior without equal. Not only was he incredibly strong and skilled with the sword, he was also the very embodiment of chivalry. He was brave, noble, and utterly loyal to King Arthur. But Lancelot was also deeply human, and for all his strength on the battlefield, his greatest weakness lay in his heart. From the moment he met Queen Guinevere, Arthur's wife, he struggled with his overwhelming love for her. Despite the danger it put him in, he couldn't help but feel drawn to her, which is why, despite being half fish, he fell in love with a human. The lady in the red dress is Guinevere, the Queen of Camelot. And Guinevere had a really tough job. Everyone loved her. She was the most beautiful woman in the kingdom, known for her grace and wisdom. So naturally, she was also at the center of a lot of political maneuvering. Some stories make her out to be a devoted queen who never wavered in her love for King Arthur. Other stories, not so much. In some versions, she's a tragic figure who's torn between her duty to Arthur and her heart, which belongs to Lancelot. Now, it's no secret that Guinevere and Lancelot were lovers. In fact, their love is one of the most famous love stories in history. But their affair was also incredibly dangerous. Because if Arthur found out, he would have Guinevere put to death. So what's a girl to do? Love the man she's in love with, or protect the kingdom by staying loyal to her husband? And you thought your choices were hard. Did you know that the first time Lancelot and Guinevere saw each other, they were both wearing masks? Back in the 12th century, when authors like Betrayal were writing about them, their love story was just getting started. It was a time when the rules of courtly love were whispered, not spoken. A time when a stolen glance or a secret smile could speak volumes. And so it was with Lancelot and Guinevere. Their love began with stolen moments and whispered words hidden away from the prying eyes of Camelot. But as we all know, the greatest love stories are never simple. Oh no, Lancelot's love for Guinevere consumed him. He risked everything for her, his honor, his reputation, even his loyalty to Arthur. He rescued her from kidnappers, he dueled for her honor, and in some stories he even risked death to prove his devotion, each act deepening their bond, but also pushing Camelot closer to ruin. What? Did you think I was going to say they lived happily ever after? Get real. This is the stuff that legends are made of. No secret can remain hidden forever. In some accounts, it is the knight Mordred who exposes the affair between Arthur and Guinevere to the entire court. In others, it is Arthur himself who learns the truth about his wife's infidelity. But either way, it shatters Camelot. The Round Table is divided. Some knights defend Lancelot and Guinevere, while others condemn them as traitors. Civil war breaks out. Friend turns against friend. And in the end, Lancelot flees into exile, and Guinevere retreats to a convent, where she spends the rest of her days seeking forgiveness for her sins. Arthur, heartbroken and betrayed by the woman he loved, and the knight he trusted most, marches to war. A war that will ultimately lead to his own downfall at the Battle of Camelot. Do you love a tragic romance? Do you have a favorite character from King Arthur's legend? Let me know your thoughts. Did you know that the love between Lancelot and Guinevere wasn't just a scandalous affair, it was a revolution? You see, Lancelot was the greatest knight of King Arthur's court, a legendary warrior who had never been defeated in battle. But he was also a man, which meant he was capable of making mistakes, of being tempted by the very thing he was supposed to protect, Queen Guinevere. Their love story became a mirror of medieval values, a world where everyone is expected to be loyal to their lord and their duty, but also a world where people are capable of great passion and betrayal. And even though their love brought destruction and despair to Camelot, it also gave rise to one of the most powerful and enduring romances in Western literature, from medieval poets like Wolfram von Eschenbach to modern novelists, film and TV series creators. The tale of Lancelot and Guinevere continues to be retold, reminding us that no matter how great the love, duty always comes first. So, what can we learn from this story? The romance of Lancelot and Guinevere is not just about forbidden love. It's about the cost of desire, the fragility of even the greatest kingdoms, and the way passion can both inspire and destroy. Camelot fell not only because of swords and betrayal, but because human hearts are never as perfect as ideals. And perhaps that is why, centuries later, the story of Lancelot and Guinevere still speaks to us. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Arthurian legend, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from history and mythology. And tell us in the comments, do you see Lancelot and Guinevere as tragic lovers or as the true betrayers of Camelot?